What if Asajj Ventress killed Count Dooku? Let's explore the depths of this scenario in the video. Count Dooku's eyes widen as the door to his room opens, revealing Ventresses' cold yellow eyes. He ignites his lightsaber and prepares to fight. He's surprised to hear Ventresses laughing at his command. Asajj watches the two in confusion just as Ventress approaches. As she taps on his forehead, Asajj looks like he's waking from a trance. Slowly, he turns to Dooku and ignites his lightsaber. Ventress smiles cruelly, and Dooku immediately realizes he's been deceived. All this time, Ventress has been playing him for a fool. He shakes those thoughts from his head and readies himself. After this, he'll find a worthy apprentice. But only after these two are dead. Dooku is forced to divide his attention as the two come in again. His movements are precise and calculated, blocking and countering the relentless assault. Though Asajj is inexperienced, his attacks are powerful, and Dooku must be careful to avoid getting hit. The sounds of clashing lightsabers and the hum of the Force fill his quarters. Ventress and Asajj coordinate their attacks, their strikes becoming increasingly aggressive as they find their rhythm. Ventress leaps over Dooku, aiming a slash at his head. Dooku slices off the other hand, leaving him defenseless. Her eyes burn with rage as she stares him down. In one swift motion, she plunges her lightsaber into Dooku's chest. His eyes widen in shock before going limp and dropping to the floor. The two quickly depart, not wanting to risk a fight with the Jedi while they are exhausted, and escape back to Dathomir, where Mother Talzin welcomes them. She's pleased to hear about their mission, but knows that Dooku was just a pawn of Sidious. To defeat him would require more planning. For a while, she continues to train Ventress and Asajj in their dark magic and how to channel it through the dark side. While they train, Talzin begins channeling an amulet to help track down Darth Maul.
There are always two, Sith. You have defeated the apprentice, but the master shall not come so easily. Once, Darth Sidious approached me and offered the Night Sisters power, but instead, he took my son from me, and I shall have him back.
We shall do whatever it takes to complete this mission, Mother.
Then take this amulet. It will be your guide to your lost brother. Go, my children. For only together can Dathomir take its rightful place in the galaxy.
While the two begin their search, events are changing across the galaxy. Without Dooku to lead the CIS, the war swung firmly in favor of the Republic. Though Grievous and other leaders try to take control, no one has Dooku's political skills, military capabilities, or intelligence. The Republic quickly begins gaining ground, making multiple advances across Separatist territory and capturing important leaders. This is a troublesome development for Palpatine, as the war could end sooner and with an outright Republic victory. He realizes he must provide the CIS with effective leadership to stabilize their war effort. Palpatine decides to reach out to some old allies. He contacts Mother Talzin and her Night Sisters.
Mother Talzin, it has been too long.
Indeed, Darth Sidious. What brings you to my domain?
I have a proposition for you. Your Night Sisters are powerful, but their potential has yet to be realized. They would be effective leaders in the droid army. If you join us, you shall be amply rewarded.
Dathomir might be remote, Sith Lord. But I know your plans are faltering, Sidious. Count Dooku is dead, and your control is slipping. You speak of power, but I sense your fear. You need the strength of the Night Sisters for your failing schemes. You need us more than we need you.
Careful, Talzin. I am not one to be trifled with. You have no idea what powers you are playing with.
I believe I do. Perhaps it is time for a change in leadership. The galaxy needs a ruler who understands power, not one who hides in the shadows while others fight his battles.
You overestimate your position. I offer you an alliance, but you reject me, and you face annihilation.
You forget, Sidious. The Night Sisters have faced annihilation before and emerged stronger. We do not fear death, nor do we bow to false promises. If you truly wish to join forces, it will be under my terms.
Then I shall see you on the battlefield.
Talzin smiles to herself, knowing she has Palpatine right where she wants him. But she still needs Darth Maul to complete her revenge. Luckily for her, Ventress and Asajj are making excellent progress in their search. Thanks to Asajj's tracking skills and Ventress's attunement to the Force, they track him down to Lotho Minor, a massive junk planet where Maul has spent years hiding. Unfortunately, he's not the powerful warrior they were expecting, but an insane beast, little more than an animal.
He's too far gone. Let's put him out of his misery.
No. We came here for him, and I don't intend to return to Mother Talzin empty-handed.
He reaches out to Maul, feeling the anger flowing through him. It is all that's keeping him alive. Ventress begins to sense this too, and tries to find its source to motivate him. Amidst the sea of anger and rage boiling through Maul, only one name stands out: Kenobi. The two apprentices look at each other and smile. That is a name they've dealt with many times, and one they will enjoy killing. It takes some persuasion, but they eventually manage to convince Maul to return with them, though they can't do much for his mental state. Instead, Mother Talzin takes care of that, using a dark side ritual that heals his mind and provides him with a new set of robotic legs. With his mind restored, Maul looks around him and bows to Mother Talzin.
Mother, I knew you would find me.
I would never abandon you, my child. Now, it's time to meet your siblings.
She gestures towards Asajj and Ventress, who stand ready. Maul looks them over and grunts.
I suppose I owe you some thanks as well.
Thanks will have to wait. I have received word that Sidious is preparing an invasion of Dathomir. If we are to survive, we must make preparations immediately. Lucky for you, I have a plan to deal with them.
The next day, Maul and Asajj depart on a mission, leaving Mother Talzin and Ventress to organize the defenses. The sky over Dathomir soon darkens and is filled with the ominous hum of approaching starships. CIS landing craft touch down, unloading wave after wave of battle droids. At their head stands General Grievous, his lightsabers casting a sinister glow. The droid army advances through the forest as a hail of energy arrows rains down on them or bursts from the trees. The Night Sisters stand their ground, their green magic crackling around them. With a wave of her hand, Talzin commands the attack.
Night Sisters, defend our home. Show them our true power.
The Night Sisters launch into action, their agility and dark magics allowing them to move like wraiths among the droids. They summon lightning, throw explosive energy balls, and wield enchanted weapons. At their head is Ventress, twin lightsabers flashing as she cuts down droids left and right. Even the elite Magna Guards and commando droids are no match for her. The battle is fierce, but the droid army's numbers are overwhelming. Talzin watches as her sisters begin to falter under the relentless assault. This is when she summons her secret weapon. With the aid of old Daka, she begins to summon reinforcements. The ground trembles as ancient graves crack open. Ghostly skeletal warriors emerge, their eyes glowing with unnatural light. The army of the dead joins the fight, cutting through the droids with ease. The tide of battle shifts as the Night Sisters' undead allies push back against the droid forces.
Fools! You cannot stop me!
Grievous leaps into battle, his lightsaber spinning as he cuts down Night Sisters, his mechanical body a whirlwind of destruction. Talzin steps forward to confront him, her eyes blazing with fury.
You will pay for your arrogance, Grievous.
She unleashes a torrent of dark energy at Grievous, who deflects it with his lightsabers. The two engage in a fierce duel. Talzin's sorcery clashing against Grievous's brute strength and skill. Around them the battle rages on, the Night Sisters and their undead allies fighting desperately to repel the droid invasion. Grievous gains the upper hand, unleashing a ferocious attack and batting aside any spell that Talzin throws at him. Though her protective shield holds at first, it begins to crack under his relentless attacks. With a final incantation, Talzin summons a massive storm of dark energy that engulfs Grievous and the remaining droids. The storm tears through metal and circuitry, leaving nothing but wreckage. As his droids are thrown aside, Grievous manages to keep his footing, standing at the eye of the storm and crushing any zombie or Night Sister foolish enough to get in his way. Seeing all the destruction around him, Grievous calls for his bombers to create their own firestorm. Hyena bombers circle above, and large swaths of the forest go up in a blaze with each bombing run. This forces the Night Sisters into the open, where they are easy prey for the droids. Talzin is nowhere to be seen, but Ventress suddenly leaps out and engages the cyborg general.
Miss me?
Indeed. I was worried you died in that fire, and I wouldn't be able to slay you myself.
The forest burns around them, the crackling of flames and the roar of fire creating a hellish backdrop. The heat is intense, and the air is thick with smoke, leaving the pair barely able to see each other. Without warning, the two clash, their lightsabers creating a dazzling display that briefly lights up the darkness. Ventress moves with deadly precision, her twin blades striking at Grievous while leaping out of his way. She combines this with powerful force moves that block his attacks or throw him back. Grievous counters with sheer brute force, his mechanical body a whirlwind of strikes. The forest around them continues to burn, but he hardly seems bothered by it as he rushes forward and slams into Ventress, throwing her back. Ventress leaps onto a burning branch and hurls a lightsaber at Grievous, who deflects it with his own. The lightsaber returns to her hand when she dives back into the fray, her movements fluid and relentless. Despite her skill, Grievous's strength and 4 lightsabers begin to overwhelm her, especially as the fire worsens. She begins to cough and gasp from the smoke inhalation. Grievous presses his attack and delivers a powerful kick that sends her crashing into a tree, her lightsabers flying from her grasp. Grievous lunges forward, ready to deliver the killing blow. Suddenly, a loud roar echoes through the forest. Asajj and Maul emerge from the flames, leading a group of Night Brothers. They charge into battle, their fierce war cries filling the air. Asajj swings his massive lightsaber, knocking Grievous off balance and forcing him to retreat momentarily.
Get away from her!
Cut them down! Leave none standing!
The Night Brothers, armed with electrostaves, maces, axes, and blasters, tear into the droid forces, Carving a path through the mechanical soldiers, they leap through the fire like a horde of demons. Grievous, now facing multiple opponents, finds himself struggling. Ventress joins the fight again, fighting alongside Asajj. Their combined strength forces Grievous to retreat further. Maul, his double-bladed lightsaber spinning, cuts through droids with ruthless efficiency. The Knight brothers overwhelm the remaining droids, their savagery and strength proving too much for the CIS soldiers. In a moment of calm, Talzin materializes in front of Grievous with an evil smile.
Tell your master that Dathomir will not fall.
Grievous, barely functional, manages to activate a distress signal, ordering the remaining droid forces to retreat. The Night Sisters then choose to regroup, tending to their wounded and mourning their fallen.
This victory is only the beginning. The galaxy will learn to fear the power of the Night Sisters.
As Grievous departs, he contacts Palpatine to report on his mission.
General. I hope you are contacting me with news that the Night Sisters have been defeated.
Unfortunately, their forces proved to be too powerful.
That is unfortunate. But I hope you were able to get all the data necessary.
Indeed. Though the ground casualties were heavy, our fleet remained intact and recorded everything, especially Maul and Ventress.
I am sure the Jedi would be very interested in this information. You may have just won us the war, General.
That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.